Welcome everybody to another episode of Hubs Huddle. Today is Saturday, October 20th, 2018. And it's about time for me to do my weekly picks. Started off right with the Broncos over the Cardinals. That was pretty much a beat down, 45-10. Josh Rosen had a very terrible game, 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles lost. The Broncos was all over these dudes from the jump. Like I said before, I really feel sorry for Larry Fitzgerald, out there. It's just, man, it's just rough, man. That Cardinals team is terrible. I hope, some moves are made, towards the deadline, which is coming up shortly, to help either, get some of these guys out of there, get them to a different place where they can, win or make a trade to bring somebody in. I don't know what they need, but it's just bad. But the Broncos, they blew them out 45-10. So let me get into our Sunday and Monday night matchups. Starting off tomorrow morning, we got a 9:30 over in London, over at Wembley Stadium. It'll be the LA Chargers versus the Tennessee Titans. This is a battle of, the Chargers got a top 5 offense against the Titans' top 5 defense. My prediction for this one, man, I like the Chargers in this one, 24-14, pretty much because, the Titans got a good defense, but their offense can't really move the ball. And I think, like the Chargers, offense is pretty potent. Keenan Allen and those guys, wide receivers. And plus the Chargers also got a good, they have a pretty fair defense themselves, so, I think they have enough to shut down the Titans offense. Next up, we got the Houston Texans traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. This right here is a battle of the AFC South contenders. I believe this is going to be a good game as well. The Jags are coming off of, a couple of rough losses. They got beat down last week in Dallas by the Cowboys. I like the Jags tomorrow. I like them 24-17. Like I said, I think it's going to be a close game. Houston's coming along pretty well as well. So, I figure this is going to be a good game. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Eagles are coming off a big win, divisional win against the Giants, last Thursday night. And the Panthers coming in on a loss against the Washington Redskins in Washington last week. And like I said last week, I had picked the Panthers last week. But like I said, one week you get, good Cam, MVP Cam. And then one week you get, what the heck is going on, Cam Newton? I think this week's been pretty much the same. Man, I like the Eagles. I think it'll be another tight game. I get it an 8-point game. I got the Eagles 28-20. I just think, Cam on the road, is going to see some struggle, especially playing up there in Philadelphia. That crowd is rocking. And, these guys, they seem to be motivated right now, getting their season turned around. They're itching to get, their first two-game win streak going on in the Eagles, up in Philly. So, I look for the Eagles to win that one 28-20. Next up, we got the New York Jets. They will be welcoming in the Minnesota Vikings. Man, I think this one's going to be another game where we're going to see a bad pass defense, against a good offense. The Jets, they have the 22nd ranked pass defense in the league, and you got Kirk Cousins coming in there with his weapons, and his favorite target is Adam Thielen, and then you got you still got Stephon Diggs to account for as well. I like the Vikings in this one, man. I like them heavy, man. I like them 27-13 over the Jets. I think the Vikings defense is gonna be too much for Sam Darnold on that offense, and then on the flip side, Kirk Cousins and that passing attack against the Jets, passing defense, it's gonna be over before it starts. So I like the Vikings 27-13. Next up, got the Patriots traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears over at Soldier Field. This one's a battle, man. Brady versus Khalil Mack. They're already saying, Gronk might not be playing. He didn't travel with the team, but they're still not, calling him out. Pretty much he's listed as doubtful right now. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that he won't be playing tomorrow. He's dealing with a back injury on top of the ankle, so I think you just let the guy rest. I think they probably gonna bring up Hollister, and maybe he'll fill in well for them or not. But I think they got enough firepower, to take care of the Bears tomorrow. I know it's gonna be a tough matchup. It's gonna be tough to see, where Khalil Mack lines up at. Is he gonna be over there with Trent Brown, or is he gonna be over there giving Le'Adrian Waddle, a couple of fits? But I like the Patriots, man. I think they'll be able to take care of business over in Chicago. I like them 34-24. Next up, you got the Buffalo Bills against the Indianapolis Colts, and seems like the Bills are going to be starting Derek Anderson. I didn't even know that guy was still in the league, but it seems like he's going to get the start tomorrow. I don't even know the last time that guy played, and just based off of that, I'm going to roll with the Colts tomorrow. Derek Anderson, he's 35 years old, and he has a passer rating of 90 or better in the start since December of 2014. Like I said, I didn't even know this dude was still, playing. I didn't know he was still in the league, but obviously he is. But I'm going to take the Colts, man. I'm taking the Colts at home. I like them 24-17 over the Bills. Next up, we got the battle of the Heisman winners here. You got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. See, this one's tough for me. You see, I really like the Browns. I like the way that they play. Kind of was upsetting that they got ripped apart a little bit against the Chargers last week. But I got to go against them, man. I think Tampa Bay playing at home. I think Jameis Winston showed us a little bit in that second half of that Falcons game. He started coming alive, man. So maybe, his first game home, it's going to be something special for him tomorrow. I think it's going to be another tight game. Like I said, the Browns are pretty good as well. You cannot sleep on the Browns anymore. So I like the Buccaneers 28-20 tomorrow. Next up, got the Detroit Lions. They're going to be going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. This one, of course, Miami's starting Brock Osweiler again. I think news broke earlier this week that the league is basically are investigating the Dolphins on reporting Ryan Tannehill's injury because he never showed up as limited participation on any days. He was always like a full go until Sunday. It was right before kickoff almost that he wasn't playing. I think the Lions are coming in, one thing with the Bears from last week, they didn't get a chance to prepare. They was preparing for Ryan Tannehill, and then you get hit with Brock Osweiler last minute. I think the Lions are coming in fully prepared this time. So I like the Lions tomorrow. I like them 24-20. I just think, it's going to be a nice close game in Miami. But I think Matt Stafford and that offense with Golden Tate and Jones, and they still got the run game that's pretty nice. They just got to give LeGarrette Blount some carries, and they're going to be fine tomorrow. I like the Lions 24-20. Next up, we got the number one scoring offense against the number one scoring defense. You got the Saints will be traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens tomorrow. This one, I don't believe Drew Brees has beaten the Ravens ever, but I think that changes tomorrow, man. I think it's going to be a nice, tough, close game. I give it 3 points. I like the Saints 27-24. Drew Brees will get into the 500 touchdown club tomorrow. But, I think it's going to be a very, very good game. Next up, we got the battle for number one in the NFC East. Early in the season, the Dallas Cowboys are traveling to to FedEx Field to take on the Washington Redskins. This one, the Redskins coming off of a big win last week against Cam Newton and the Panthers. Of course, the Cowboys coming off a big win against the Jaguars at home. This one, I think I'm going to give the Cowboys the edge here. Like I've been saying for weeks, man. They need to give, that rushing attack, it has to have at least, 25 to 30 carries. And if you look at it last week, between Dak, I don't even know the backup guy's name, and and Zeke. These dudes, they had a total combined of about 30 carries. It was like 30 rushing attempts. And you've seen the tell of the game because it opens up the offense for Dak where he doesn't have so much pressure on him. And I think it's going to be more of the same in this one. Cowboys defense is starting to come around. These guys are getting after it a little bit. Alex Smith is very patient. So, it's going to be a tough game. It's always tough in that division. These games is always tough. But I like the Cowboys. I give it a 28-24 Cowboys. I think, they're going to go up 2-0 in the division that's going to lead up to their big matchup against Philly in a couple weeks. So, next up, we got another divisional matchup over in the NFC West with the LA Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this one was supposed to be a Sunday night football game, but as you know, it got flexed out for Chiefs and Bengals. But, I guess based off the, the competition and everything, the Rams, they had themselves a game last week. First game in the cold out there, of the year, against the Broncos. It was a pretty good game last week. They eked out with the victory, but I think, they bounced back. This is their first time being 6-0 since 2001. That was the same year they went to the Super Bowl. But I like the Rams in this one. I like them, a nice little cushion, 38-20 over the 49ers. I just think they're just too much, man. I think, offensively, a lot of weapons. Cooper Kupp, and, Todd Gurley, of course, and, Jared Goff is playing very well. But on the defensive side, you got Aaron Donald, and those guys, man, Sue, these guys are, this defense is legit, and that's why I like them tomorrow. I like them big, I like 38-20 over the 49ers. Next up is our Sunday night matchup where you got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And, of course, Sunday Night Football is another week of Chris Collinsworth basically in the love fest for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, man, it's going to be crazy. If you watched the game last week, I got so sick and tired of Chris Collinsworth pretty much just like glorifying this kid and just putting him on all these different types of pedestals that it didn't make any sense. I mean, the kid's good, but you don't have to drown us with 3 hours of you just loving on the guy, but I think, the Bengals, in this one, the Bengals, man, they gave up 481 yards last week to Pittsburgh. And they played at home giving up that kind of yards. I don't think that's going to, I don't think it's going to be very well for them this coming tomorrow night against the Chiefs. And they also, they give up 26.3 points per game. They got a good record, and they're like but the Kansas City Chiefs is on a whole other level with the offense. Keys for, the Bengals will still be to run the ball. Like I said, like I said last week, the Kansas City Chiefs are giving up about 5.6 yards per carry. So, that was my key to victory for New England last week, and they took advantage of that. You seen, Sony Michel and James White, get their carries in, and Sony Michel had a heck of a game last week. He went over 100 yards. That's what I think, for the Bengals, that would be a key for them to win. But I don't know if they have enough offense, to keep on, pace with the Kansas City Chiefs. I know they got AJ Green over there, but I mean, what else can, the Bengals give up, to actually compete with the Kansas City Chiefs. So I like the Chiefs tomorrow night. I like them 38-28 over Cincinnati, Sunday Night Football, which leads us to our Monday night matchup. Another doozy. You got the New York Giants traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say I like the Falcons. I'm going to give up a number 30-17. I'm just saying it because, okay, the Falcons, they do have a poor, pass defense as well. They give up a lot. But Eli just can't seem to, he can throw the ball down the field. So I don't know what you're getting. If you're going to keep doing these little dump offs, then, Atlanta's going to have a field day with them tomorrow. On the bright spot, I think all 17 points are going to be scored. Well, now, not he can't get all 17 points, but I'm going to say 14 of the 17 points are going to be scored by Saquon Barkley. This kid's going to get his yards tomorrow. He's going to get his carries. This man's going to get his yards, but it's just the rest of the Giants' offense. Are they going to be able to, match that? Can Eli throw the ball down the field, to Odell and Shepard? And, what's going on? I don't know what's going on in New York, man. I know there's been rumors about the Raiders. They want to trade, basically everybody's basically available. Maybe the Giants make a move for like Derek Carr. I don't know. Something has to happen. But, Eli just ain't getting it done. He seems like, this is the end of the road for him. I don't know. But like I said, I like the Falcons in this one, 30-17. All right. Well, that's it for me tonight, guys. So, make sure you guys tune in next time for another episode of Hubs Huddle. I am on iTunes, Spotify. I am on Google Podcasts and a couple other things. Oh, also my main host is Podbean, so I'm on there. Make sure you guys like it, share it, subscribe to whichever platform you're listening to, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's on Podbean, or if it's on Google. Make sure you subscribe to it. Write me a review. Let me know what's up, man. I read all those. I like, to see what you guys think. And, also I'm on Instagram at Hubs Huddle. You can hit me up on there. I have my email address on there too. You can just send me an email. Also, I am on Twitter at JustHub as well, and Facebook at Hubs Huddle. So I'm on plenty of different platforms, man. Just reach out to me, let me know what's good. Until next time, y'all be safe and be blessed, and good night.